Hey, it's Dr. Brian McKay at Core Health, and today I would like to go over some common migraine symptoms and triggers. Migraines are really, to me, just terrible headaches. Anytime someone has a bad headache, they'll just classify it as a migraine. And in some cases, that's true. In a lot of cases, it's not. But I wanted to go over, some of the more common symptoms are going to be nausea, vomiting, sensitivity to light or sound. Some people get visual effects and or an aura, which is like a feeling coming on, or lights flashing a little bit. So, but migraine is a different experience for everybody. Um, and again, diagnosing can be difficult because as soon as you have a bad headache, you automatically assume that you have a migraine. Um, and typically, these just a really bad headache. So just think of migraines as really, really bad headaches. And some people have triggers. Triggers are something in the surroundings that can cause a migraine to occur. Some people don't have triggers. So it's kind of, if you know what the triggers are, you can avoid them. And they can be different for everybody. But certain foods and drinks, strong scents, hormones. A lot of the common ones, common triggers can be coffee. I mean, that makes sense. But coffee, a lot of times people will take for migraine because it'll help open up the blood vessel. Alcohol, ooh, it's a tough one. If you're going to have headaches, don't drink alcohol. I mean, it's really just safe to say. Now, stress. Who here is not under stress? I don't see any hands going up, but then again, this is a podcast, so I really can't see it. Sometimes bright lights can cause, or flashing lights can cause a trigger a migraine. Loud sounds. Certain sounds are things that can really avoid, can aggravate somebody much more if they're prone to having migraines. Perfumes, that's a really big one. You'd be surprised at how obnoxious certain perfumes are. And when that happens, people really, you have a real bad response. Smoking is another thing too. Is there any good from smoking? Now, I'm not aware of anything good that comes from smoking. So in that sense there, it's really important to understand that, you got to do your own part. Make sure you're not smoking. I think you're crazy to smoke if you have migraines. I think that's safe to say. It just doesn't, just don't smoke. Really, it, it's just, there's nothing good. Weather does affect people. The barometric pressure changes, make certain people more sensitive to it. It's even cheese. Cheese, because of certain bacteria in cheese, have been known to be a trigger for migraine headaches. And here's another one that we really, really missed the boat on: missing sleep. Um, lack of sleep adds to stress. Um, in a big, big way. So it's get adequate rest. Do yourself a big favor. If you just go all these things, see what's really bothering you. Next time you have a headache, do a little a food log or event log. Just write it down. What precluded the headache, and migraine, and that'll give you a much better idea of what's going on there. Now, the thing here is about preventative. Um, there's a lot of medicines out there. Botox, Rayvow. There's a bunch of different things taken for prevention, but I really got to tell you, uh, chiropractic care and I'm a chiropractor, but I see headache people all the time, and these headache people really are suffering, and a lot of times it's because the vertebrae in the neck are misaligned, which will also affect the ability to sleep. You'd be surprised when someone comes in, their neck is all racked out. These days people are staring at their phones, they're staring at computer screens. So there's a lot of tension and stress on the neck. And somebody may not be aware of is that the actual brain stem comes down into the base of your skull. So you can imagine that's a lot of tension. You have vertebrae twisting on the brain stem itself. It kind of makes sense that you're going to have it. But what happens is, people just, unfortunately, chiropractic is not the first line. It's like, take the medication. Medications, your body has to process this stuff out. Um, and there's dangers associated with a lot of the medications. It's just not just, listen. Everybody wants headache relief, but a natural headache relief. That's it's really a good chiropractic is a really good modality, a healing modality to take the tension out of the cervical spine. A lot of times we call those cervicogenic headaches or occipital headaches. But I have found, after treating for almost 30 years, people can respond phenomenally to chiropractic care for headaches. Um, it, it's it's a very rewarding it's very rewarding to be able to help someone who has headaches, migraines, and get over them, because it's almost like the life is different. You're gonna get your life back. You will sleep better. You will have less stress. Um, it just makes sense. And the problem I find is most medical doctors are really loath to recommend chiropractic care to anybody. So it's one of those things that it's a choice for you to make. But I would, when you take an X-ray of a neck and you see there's no curve, there's all kind of tension on the brainstem. It's just that's the first thing you can do. You can also do an MRI. A lot of times, my patients, I will insist they get MRIs because, you have bad headaches. You could have a brain tumor, um, and I don't treat brain tumors, so I need to make sure. So an awful lot of times we'll insist that even with an X-ray, of taking an MRI of the cervical spine, just to make sure, make sure that you're the right, we can help you, because if it's not, we want to make sure you get to the right doctor as soon as possible. The other thing too is there are a lot of side effects with the different medications. Dizziness, sleepiness, numbness, feeling tired, tingling. These are the typical things you're going to feel. So it's not like, I mean, listen, if you got a headache and you want to get rid of it, uh, you know, have at it. I mean, you try everything. But the idea is, I'm just trying to get you to think about is, can you raise your consciousness level to say, wait a second, man, just give a chiropractor a try. Now, when you're choosing a chiropractor, you have to feel really comfortable with the person. That's primarily, I think, the first thing is, do you trust this person? Do you feel comfortable with them? And if you do, then that's wonderful. And give them a shot, because it's not going to be one chiropractic treatment is called an adjustment, and it's not going to be just one particular adjustment is going to get a headache on. I mean, it's nice to think that, but if you've had long term, if your body's been fighting with having migraines for a long time, um, you really gotta know that it takes some time to reverse out of it. So the chiropractor, don't expect an overnight miracle. I mean, you can't expect to start sleeping better, but you know, it's a chiropractic is like a common sense approach. We're like mechanics for the spine, but if you're getting headaches, well, that's kind of it's time to do something about it. I mean that's and you know what? Women seem to get just a little bit more migraines. It seems to me just a little bit more often. Um, so it's kind of something that you got to be aware of. And migraines are going to be again, people sometimes it contributes to hormone changes during the menstrual cycle. Loud noises, strong odors. If you skip a meal, you can have a headache. Too much sleep, not enough sleep. The stuff we discussed before: weather, alcohol, caffeine too much, or caffeine withdrawals. So it's just, if you are having migraines, the simplest thing to do is just, if you're getting one, put ice on your head. Dim the lights, go somewhere quiet. Um, Try to relax. Try to do some meditation. Um, these are simple things you could do on your own, um, in order to really make a difference with the headaches. And it's not always that easy, to put a cold pack. Sometimes if you have a tension headache, you may want to be even using a hot pack on the neck. Hold a warm cloth, but put a hot shower is also another thing you could possibly do. Um, you can also these things called a tingler, which is it's like a metal, looks like a wire, a coat hanger, and that actually, if you rub it across the surface of the scalp, can have a nice effect on taking out some of the sting of a migraine headache. Dim the lights. The light can really be a big trigger. And somebody else recommended, try not to chew, because sometimes when um, the motion irritates, and when you grind your teeth at night, this is something that can also cause headaches. And again, caffeine sometimes is good, sometimes it's not all that good. It depends. But what too is, you can really do meditation, muscle relaxation, go for a walk. Now these are things, get a massage. I mean, there's a home run there. Get a massage, and it's the type of thing. that really relaxes you. I mean, as a chiropractor, we use massage all the time here, so it's kind of a good thing to do. Is I mean, just you know, take care of yourself. I mean, a massage is going to decrease your stress, help you sleep better. So there's all kinds of good stuff, all kinds of really good benefits. Well, I think I've talked your ear off about migraines. If I haven't, stressed it enough, chiropractic care for headaches is an incredible way for you to get the relief you need. I urge you to give it a try, especially if you want to get off medication. If you're pregnant and you can't take medication, what are you going to do? Well, try chiropractic care for your migraines. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And it's good to get off the pills. All right, I'm Dr. Brian McKay, Core Health in Darien. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me, 203-656-3636. 203-656-3636. All right, listen, thanks very much. Have a great, great day. And hopefully you won't have any more headaches.